so we're here with stick mobility arm care. We've got Nate here with me to walk you through it all. So this is going to be anybody, any kind of throwing athlete. So baseball, softball for sure, quarterbacks, javelin throwers, shot putters, but not limited to swimming and tennis and volleyball players, right? Overhead athletes basically will all benefit from this a ton, but throwing athletes especially, we need this for recovery. So after you've pitched, you've thrown a lot, this is going to be a great way to recover and maintain good arm care. So we're going to start off with a few articulations to get everything warmed up, get the blood flowing, get the joints lubed up. So he's going to start with some light kayaks. We're going to go in reverse for 5. So he's lightly just pushing into the ends, trying to take his shoulder through some nice range of motion. He's going to maintain the trunk, so we're opening up the rib cage, the lats, the chest, the shoulder, and then he's got some nice light activation going on in here to just put a little bit of strength back. But since we are recovering, we want it very light. If we were activating to get ready to throw, we would push a little bit harder to get all those muscles neurally primed and activated. So now we're going to reverse it and go forward. So we got both directions, ideally about 5 to 10 repetitions will do just fine. What we're looking for too is after maybe a long day of throwing that really sore, really tight, you're kind of looking for the little hiccups in there. Where is it not smooth, so we can address that stuff later in our stretches. Good. All right, so from there, now we're going to go to half dislocate. So he's going to take that stick straight out in front of him. Definitely a little bit wider than shoulder grip, and again he's going to lightly activate the hand line, the arm line, by pulling out on the stick. So he's going to bring one arm over the head, so we're working on one side at a time. From there he's going to slide this over to the other side, and he's going to bend that top elbow, pull the arm down a little bit lower, so now we can get into the tricep as well. So tricep and lat, slide it back over to the other side, come to the top, bring it back to center. And then now you'll start by coming right arm over. It's going to pull down all the way back. So when we do the first dislocate, we're just really looking for shoulder, chest, high position, arms are straight. Then we slide it over and get in here deeper. Bring it back, center, back to the front. We'll do one more each way. Ideally, this would be something you do about 5 each way. Again, trying to maintain trunk. What we're looking for is we don't want bird necking, we don't want that head shooting forward, we don't want to lose structure in the trunk, so then we truly work on mobility at the shoulders. Most people will cheat and either hyperextend the low back or push the head forward to act like they've got mobility or think they're getting a good big stretch, but you're really then just damaging your joints. Okay, so we're good there. The third one is he's going to put the stick behind the back, crooks of elbows, and then for this, we're going to go into a staggered stance. So it matches more of throwing to tie in the hip connection up through the slings to the shoulder. I'm going to have his hands go across the belly so we keep posture and we can also feel what's going on as we move across. So he's going to rotate first to the right. Seeing how much rotation we can get here. We're paying attention to, can we lock the foot down? Can we stabilize knee to hip? And then see what our real rotation is. Now rotate back towards me. Same time, what I'm looking for and what I want them to do is I want them to actively split the hips. So when he rotates inside, like towards me, the hips should split apart to create stability and activation at the hips. Slide the other way, and you should see now his hips slide back into each other, which is going to create that connection up to this hip. Very important for throwers because we need to have good internal rotation at that hip on landing. Otherwise, we put the arm at a bad place. Bring it back, give me a couple more. Now what I want you to do after this last one, when you come back, keep head in neutral and show me a couple more that way. So here, if we keep head, don't let the head move. Now we bring in cervical. So we might think it's the opposite, but if the head's moving with it, then the head's just going where the body's going. So you don't have cervical stretching, activation, rotation going on. If the head stays center, now cervical is being challenged as well. So here's where we're going to see true T-spine rotation and what we can actually own up here. So give me one more across, keeping that head steady. A little bit harder to rotate when the head's forward like that, because it's another way for people to cheat. If they look where they're going, then it's easier to rotate. But when you're throwing, you need to look at your target. And good, we'll come back to center. So ideally though, we're going to do this on both sides. We're not going to do both sides right now, but you would always do both legs in front. So make sure that's very important. You always hit both sides of the body with everything that you do. And so that's going to be our initial warm it up, get the joint articulations going, the blood flowing, the muscles lubed up, and then we will go into the next deeper stretches.